Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and the question of the day is what percentage of your crypto portfolio is in XRP? Now go to the comment section and type down below what percentage you got on there. Do not type the amount of XRP you own, but just the percentage. And then also a second question, which is a general question. XRP community members, if someday somebody were to give you $1 million, what would you do with it? And be honest. Again, put it in the comment section down below. I want to know from you guys. James Rule asked this on Twitter, but I'm quite interested to see as well. And also, guys, please help out the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. I'm trying to hit 50,000 subs by the end of the year, and with a little bit of help, I really think it should be possible. So thank you guys all for the support. First of all, 54% of crypto traders on leading global exchange own XRP, surpassing Bitcoin by a wide margin. And this is actually really quite exciting to learn and to see that this is actually manageable. So basically here, eToro, which is a place a lot of people trade, Bitcoin just became the second most popular crypto asset, which is some I've not witnessed in a very long time. So, as is expected, on most exchanges, the most traded asset is, of course, Bitcoin, but also the most held asset on the exchange is Bitcoin, and the most popular asset in general is Bitcoin. And in this case, on eToro, on that exchange, XRP took over in terms of how many people hold it. And I think that's just another showcase and another sign that the amount of people that are going to diversify their crypto portfolio is definitely quite increasing. All right, it's been increasing for a very long time, but I think it will be increasing as we roll on with these months. Because how I think it works is a lot of people, when they get introduced to crypto, they first start out with Bitcoin, and then at one point in the future, or at one point in their I guess their workings, they decide to switch over, or at least do their own due diligence into more coins, and then most likely switch over to something that fits them more, right? And I think often with people, they've just read up a little bit on XRP and they notice that it really fits well with what they are personally expecting, which makes them in the end, get into some. Data shows XRP community is dissolving fast. What's behind the trend? Now, of course, what I'm telling you guys, one side of the story, gotta give you guys the other one as well, right? This is exactly the opposite of what I just said, because this one is kind of a reiteration of what we did yesterday, and it's basically again stating that the XRP community is diminishing and that holders are quitting. People are afraid of XRP. People don't like it anymore, and that Bitcoin is actually the one truly godlike coin out there, and that XRP is all crap and whatnot. Well, so I just read through it quickly, and it's basically making another statement of, yeah, people are leaving. So here we can see a lot of people are leaving from the XRP community, and all I have to say about it is it's laughable, right? If anybody actually thinks the XP community is diminishing, I think they've been either living on a rock or just, I guess, looking at the wrong facts. Now there are a couple of ways to see this though, because you can say some of the key figures are leaving the community, right? Like Tiffany Hayden, like Holder, at least that's what they're saying here. Yeah, all right. There will be big people leaving. However, though, for a lot of these big guys on there, I guess, that are leaving now, there's going to be 10 smaller guys in the end, adding up to more followers overall. And this channel, Telegram channel, losing followers or losing people, I think that's the worst one out of all. So basically, what they stated in here is that the Telegram of XRP or of Ripple, I don't even know, lost people in it over the years, and thus the XP community is diminishing. I'm like, is just a Telegram group. Well, what does that state about the community? Nothing. And for most people I've been watching, their followers have been steadily increasing, and thus I don't buy that. $75 billion hedge fund Renaissance Technologies, which is one of the largest hedge funds in the world, has just opened their door to investing futures of course, Bitcoin. The top hedge funds' well-known medallion funds will be able to buy Bitcoin futures on the CME group. It's pretty amazing in terms of adoption. I know it's just Bitcoin though, but it's a very good start. It's very cool to see. What percentage of your crypto? Oh, we just read that already. Justin Sun calls Tron holders to join in fighting EOS and Ethereum. I was a little bit bamboozled by this statement. I was a little bit bamboozled by Justin Sun going around, and I was also a little bit bamboozled by the amount of followers that Justin Sun has faked over time. There's a couple of statistics out there that you can just, I guess, quickly check to see that these followers that he's having, yeah, they're not all real. I mean, it's pretty obvious to note as well. I mean, the amount of likes, the amount of engagement, they don't add up for 2 million followers. No, I don't buy that type of stuff. Maybe at maximum like 400,000 real ones, max. 2 million is way, way, way too much. But basically, what he said here was first ever multi blockchain RPG game, 50,000 US dollars, Tether ones in prizes, pre register now. Calling all Tron holders, let's come together and battle against EOS and Ethereum. And basically, it's another kind of shot or kind of an attempt from Justin Sun to promote a new game, and I don't really know why he does it. I don't know if he gets like just a check for like $10 million that he's like, all right, let me promote this game, or if it's their own game, of the Tron founders or something like that. Because I really really don't know why he would do that. The other reason, the last one I think could be that he just really wants their Tron to do better in every way, shape, or form. And thus, if it has to, if they have to promote a gaming thing in order to beat it, it's going to be fine because EOS and Ethereum will not promote it, and thus they will win. Maybe that's his point. I don't know too much about it. On the right here, I just actually see some recent news as well. Just noticing it. I'm going to quickly check it out. Genic set to release liquidity for XRP and Solo on the XRP LDEX. Now, you guys know my situation on Solo. I like Solo in their essence, but I don't like the way the promotion has been going too much. I think it's just a little bit of a heavy effort to get it out there, and I also don't think Solo is really, too far up my alley that I'm going to be needing it. And also, again, it's from Coinfield, so that this is a good way for them to get a lot of money as well, which is why I'm always like, ooh, should I be talking about it and promoting it, or should I just leave it out to be? Because it's not that amazing that I would like to talk about it all the time. But basically, over the past few weeks, we've been working on a solution to provide some liquidity for both Solo and XRP on the XRP Ledger, DEX, and we're glad to inform that all tests have been successful and it will go live shortly today. Xum offers an easy way to access DEX and trade Solo securely. And what I often find as well is that they do include XRP. They do, of course, include XRP because that's their whole essence, and that's what they do. But also, it's a little bit of a usage on it. Like you're using XRP to get more popular, which is a good strategy, definitely so. But I'm like, how much attention should you give it? I don't know. If you guys have an opinion on that one, make sure you let me know because we can talk more about Solo, but I want to hear your opinion on it first. This unfolding occurrence on Coinbase could halt the Bitcoin uptrend. So one of the things I noticed was that a lot of people buying on Coinbase actually got their bank accounts blocked. And I think one of the main reasons is people might be getting scammed out of their money and banks are careful with it. And another one might be to stop people from buying it right now. I don't know. But the rundown here is Bitcoin bulls target movement to key resistance after breaking above $7,200, and massive sell orders on Coinbase could stop Bitcoin from breaking through key resistance. So yes, it's actually not some big conspiracy or anything crazy like that. There's just a lot of sell orders and a lot of pressure downwards that might make the whole run not as easily possible as we might think. And also, I think yesterday we covered that the shorts were really quite heavy, and thus all the people going along might be having something to endure as well, and it might not be too fun. But I personally think that all of this makes sense on a bigger on the grand scheme of things. It makes sense to update yourself and to notify yourself with all of that stuff. But On the short-term trading, it doesn't really matter too much. And also, really, if they want to, they'll just push through it anyway, regardless of how much there really is, and regardless of how big the wall looks to be. Guys, trust me. If for example, it were to come out now that Trump is a real supporter of Bitcoin, he's actually holding, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin himself. Trust me, he's gonna break through that wall, and thus, you always got to take into consideration like there's just less of a likelihood of breaking through it. And it's going to be more difficult. It needs more of a push. It needs more, I guess, like how would you say security, but then not like the SEC type of security, but like it needs more. It needs a little bit more of a push. People need to be more. Yeah, they want to be more secure. Want to have more certainty. It needs more certainty. That's the word I was looking for. And there will be more determination as well when the move pulls through. It will be a bigger one. It will be a heavier one. It will be stronger. But regardless, it can happen. So I don't know if you should be holding yourself up, and I'd also not know if they should be making a title like this. They are quite right though. It could stop it from breaking through the resistance, however. So to really kind of abbreviate what I just said, to summarize it, there's some massive sell orders at a certain point, and what could happen then is if we get to that point, these sell orders are going to be kicking in, pushing the price downwards. And those sell orders automatically act as a very, very rough resistance, a very strong one because, of course, of the amount of money that's pushing downwards on it. And what will happen is people will keep trying to buy and break through it, but it might be that the amount of money that's kind of pushing down there is too much, and thus the move will be kind of kept too short. The bulls can't keep up with trying to push the price upwards because there's just more and more people or too much money trying to get it down there. And thus, in the end, the price doesn't break it and goes back down, bounces off the resistance, and then tries something else. Why members of the XRP community are capitulating at an alarming rate? Did we just see this exact article? Or was it kind of similar? No, it was kind of similar. I think one of the reasons this is really going on right now is because of all the attention people are giving it. I don't even know who started it, but somebody showcased the the Telegram group with XRP community members deteriorating, and actually just of all the crypto groups, I believe. And then somebody else pointed out it was like a 70% downwards movement, and then somebody stated all of a sudden that the community was down 70%. Yeah, that actually made all these other ideas and articles pop up saying that we're all, going bad at it. You can see right here what it's looking like. Even though in the end, guys, it's not a real number that you should be taking into consideration. Because I was in a lot of Telegram groups a couple years ago. I leave them sometimes because why not, right? It doesn't mean I'm not a member of the community anymore. Like I don't actively take place in the Cardano, or at least I'm in some Cardano groups, but there's actually a ton that I used to be in because there's also a couple more smaller ones, and I left a ton of them. Why? Because I don't care enough, possibly, or some other reason for that matter. Um, Still very much a Cardano holder, still very much in the community. I still talk about it daily. So I'm like, where's where's the edge of that one? It's pretty abstract. Bitcoin price may skyrocket right after halving. Investor foresees no selling pressure. Again, it's a two-edged sword right there. Some will be saying right at the halving it's going to go up like crazy. Some are saying it's not going to go up at all. Some are saying people will sell their Bitcoin, people will stop mining. There's all these different ideas, and nobody knows, right? This person is foreseeing no selling pressure. On the contrary, some other person will say there is. But let's quickly see what he has to say because he does have a lot of followers, which sometimes is something that adds, I guess, authority. Following the halving event, efficient miners capture new reward flow and don't need to sell due to margins produced by new hardware advantage. Still needs to be purchased, but I see. Less selling pressure quickly produces price growth towards the new S2F price orbit. Speculators take the price well beyond the orbit at Mark A. Miners try to capture the significant price margin and buy new equipment, which has a lag coming onto the network, of course, between marks A and B. Of course, that's the middle. The difficulty adjustment during this period between marks A and B ramps up, making miner margin capture very hard or harder every 2 weeks, producing increased selling pressure. That sounds very logical. And then inefficient miners capitulate, difficulty adjustments makes it profitable again, price seeks to balance at S2F orbit until next halving event. So basically, right, it is just actually the normal cycle that always happens, literally the same way, same thing. I think we've explained it like maybe 50 or 100 times in videos before. But yeah, I don't know what else is to explain about this story. It's the most, I guess, plain Jane one. And it's just like, there's a couple of questions that come up into, I guess, anybody's mind, right? Still, even though the story is pretty straightforward, there's a couple of questions as to what will really happen right there. So one of the questions I guess is still right there. This, by the way, is history. This is about the previous halving. We're talking about the next one, of course. But one of the questions that pops up to people's minds is like, are we going to be seeing exactly the same thing happening? That's one thing, of course, people are asking themselves, like, plain Jane, are we going to be seeing exactly what happened back then? But I guess more simply and in broader sense, is what we're going to be seeing in terms of this mining only, and not even the one part here about the increased selling pressure from the miner margins and whatnot. But is it all going to have the same consequences we expect? So whatever these miners are going to do, that's one part of the story, which is a big part, I know. But the other part about it is like, what are all these speculators, what are all these billionaires or all these investment firms going to be doing, surrounding this time? Because of course they anticipate this story, they all know about it, but are they going to be going along with the flow? And since this selling pressure increases, are they going to be pumping that up like 50 times harder as well? Or will they, go exactly the opposite route around it? And basically, my point here is that even though everything might be looking as obvious as clear day, sometimes it's not, and sometimes exactly the opposite of what you think happens. And it's something you should keep into the back of your head just for sake of. Last but not least, analysis: Bitcoin bottom is in, as those who needed to sell did on March 12th. That's another theory about it all. Bitcoin has retraced the majority of the dramatic crash on March 12th, over 80%. There are a number of theories for why the price dropped so hard. Most logical, and the one supported by those in the know, is that Bitcoin dropped because it is a liquid asset, easy to sell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button. See you guys again in another one, and take care everybody. Have a very, very nice day.